If you've ever felt lost staring at price charts, or you're tired of complicated trading strategies that never seem to work, this video is about to change everything for you. I'm gonna walk you through my exact step-by-step price action process. The same simple rules I use every day to pull consistent profits. And here's the best part. You don't need to be an expert. These rules are so simple, even a complete beginner can use them. So let's get started. So why do most traders fail when it comes to price action? And what are the mistakes that you need to avoid before you can win? The first myth we're going to talk about is if you memorize enough candlestick patterns, you will be profitable. Patterns are everywhere, but most of them are noise. If you Google candlestick patterns, you will come up with infinite amounts of lists. What people are using to scalp, to buy big picture daily charts, there is a ton of them. And you do not want to be someone that is trying to find every reason to make a decision when it comes to trading. What really matters is context. And if you don't understand the context, which we're going to talk about here in a minute, when it comes to any one of these candlestick patterns, you're really just gambling. The second myth that we're going to talk about today when it comes to reading price action is support and resistance is all you need. And don't get me wrong, support and resistance are absolutely foundational when it comes to learning how to read price action and where price should go in the future. But I think a lot of beginners lack the context surrounding it. They draw their lines like they're taught to do at massive levels of support or resistance, but they're really missing the story. They're missing the why. Why should buyers step into this level? Why should sellers not step into this level? And we're going to break through that resistance. So many questions can be asked to help us diagnose what levels of support and resistance matter. What is the level of volume traded at these areas? Is it a daily chart support and resistance? Is it a multi-week, multi-month, multi-year level? Or is it something that's just happening on the intraday? There are a lot of questions that need to be asked, and you need to come up with those answers. And if it's as simple as you're just drawing the lines on your chart and treating the most important magic price levels ever, and the price is definitely going to support you and it's definitely going to reject certain levels, you're going to struggle when you're lacking that significant context that is going to allow you to decide whether a pattern is worth trading or not. So the third myth here is that price action is just about the candles. And that is just not true. The candle is just the surface. What matters is what's happening underneath. Who's trapped? Who's in control? And where is the real money moving? I used to fall for this all the time. I'd see a bullish engulfing candle, get excited and buy, only to get stopped out as the market reversed. And this happened over and over. And it wasn't until I learned the rules that I'm about to share with you right now that things actually finally clicked and I was able to get out of the trap that most traders are in. So rule number one is going to be context over candles. Context is king. We don't want to just look at the candle and make a decision on what we're going to do with the trade and how we're going to execute. We want to understand the context. We want to ask ourselves, where is this happening? What is the prior history of the stock? What does the volume look like in this current situation? Here we can take a look at an intraday chart and kind of see what we're talking about here. We've drawn a line of support where this stock has had a really strong morning and then come down and started to hold this line really significantly. And a lot of people would just look at this and go, this is basing, it's unable to break this low, and I'm going to buy it when it gets close to this line, and maybe it's going to reclaim view up and head for new highs. But we need to ask ourselves context. Where is this happening? Look at this stock. This is on day 3 after 2 huge moves higher, where this stock started at $1 and went as high as $6. This has already had multiple days of massive moves higher, and at some point we should start to actually expect support lines to get broken. And that's what we end up seeing here, is that once this line actually breaks and we hold it as resistance, the stock goes on to make a significant move lower. Context is really important. And once we're able to put in, where we're actually at in this move, not just looking at today in a snapshot. I think too many traders look at intraday charts and try to trade the intraday and completely ignore the daily, completely ignore that this stock has already had a significant move and we're on day 3 of this run so far. I used to take every single intraday pattern that I saw. My win rate was absolutely garbage because I wasn't understanding the context, and I wasn't understanding that I needed to filter for the context and waiting for the right market structure. And that's when my trade started to flip, when I started to buy support on strong breakout days or strong day ones with a good catalyst and good volume. But trying to do that same thing on day 3 when a stock is already extended is not going to lead to a profitable system. And these rules that we're talking about right now and many more we discuss every single day over in the Clover Room. I'll let you guys know a little bit later on how you can get involved and trade with us every single day. But now back to the rules. So rule number 2, volume is the truth. Volume really is such an important indicator and really, really valuable context when it comes to really big daily chart patterns, because for me, I specialize in trying to take advantage of breakout stocks that go on big runs, consolidate for a couple days, and then go on to break higher. And a very important piece of the puzzle to understanding whether or not a breakout's going to work and it's going to sustain itself and go another 30, 40, 50% past that important level of resistance is what is the volume doing, especially when you relate it to the volume it was doing when it started its moves just a few days or weeks ago as it was on its journey higher. And if we take a look at a recent example here on CAPT, you can see a very clear daily chart level, this 73, 74 cent area, but look at the volume on that day. It's nowhere close to the day it was running and being strong. It's nowhere close to other days on the daily chart where the stock attempted to make big moves. And what do we see? The stock goes, breaks above that level, gets people interested at that resistance point, but it's a huge daily wick and we end up going lower. You can see it again on another breakout just a couple days ago where the stock does massive volume and goes on a big move higher, sets that resistance level at $8, has a consolidation day in between, goes to go and break through that $8 area, but look at the volume. No one's interested. No one's watching. No one's paying attention. And because of that, we wick on the daily chart and we head lower in the days to come. And especially when we're talking about breakouts, volume is always changing, right? I can't predict a PR coming out and a bunch of people jumping into the stock. I can't predict a chat room buying the stock and a bunch of people fall them into and the volume starts to sustain itself for the coming hours. You have to use other indicators to help you out. Something I like to do, on this most recent example is pull up, a 10, 15, 20 minute chart of the past few days, especially when I can see the volume as it was trading minute by minute on the intraday of the days that the stock was strong. And when we are attempting that breakout level, what is the volume doing? It increased a little bit, but not even close to where the stock was moving when it was strong in the first place. And that is a little indicator. Again, you can see here on this stock breaking out over these highs, the volume really never starts to uptick to what it was before. And that can be an indicator that the stock doesn't have the eyes, doesn't have the attention, and it's probably not going to sustain itself and go higher. I think most traders who are trying to trade daily chart patterns or just focusing on the candles ignore volume, and that is why most traders lose. So rule number 3 is going to be reaction matters more than the level. We know how to identify which levels on the chart should matter, right? And context is going to tell you what kind of reaction we should expect when we're creating our trade plan. We want to see a certain amount of price action around this big resistance level, around this big support level, right? Volume is going to tell us whether or not it's real, right? Like in the last situation, if a breakout is occurring but there's no volume, then it's probably one we should ignore. But if we have the context and we know what we should expect and we have the volume letting us know that there might be something here, the most important thing is then the reaction, right? What does it do around that price level? In this case, we have a big breakout level at 390 with a line on our charts on this stock that is a little 3-day breakout, right? We have a big move, we have a consolidation day, and then we're gapping up into that big level of resistance, right? But if we just blindly start to expect that this resistance level should become support, so I'm going to buy any pullback into that level, right? There's a lot wrong with that in terms of where am I risking? What does that type of risk reward actually look like if it goes on to work, right? Our context and our volumes there, we want to see this stock hold above this line, use this area as support now, resistance becoming support, and then see it make its move higher, because contextually stocks that break out over recent highs on good volume have the potential to continue, right? That's our trade plan. But if we're watching the reaction to this line, this stock opens above it, fails below it, and then just continues to drift off, right? If we just buy blindly into that line, we're potentially setting ourselves up for failure because we're potentially buying a falling knife, buying something that just continues to head lower, right? And the reaction to that line told us everything we need to know. We gapped above it, traded big volume, failed below that line, and then continued lower. It's a failed breakout, and it's something we could have avoided because what would we have wanted to see? What would have been a good reaction to it? This stock opening above it, holding above this line, trading massive volume, using it as support, and then potentially look for some sort of intraday setup to get involved to take advantage of this daily stock that wants to go higher, right? Another example is that one we talked about earlier on Feed. right? If this is a stock that we're watching the support level intraday, we know there's lots of room for it to come down. It's trading really good volume compared to what it has in the days before. It's really on par with the volume that it was seeing in the prior days. And we draw our intraday line, a level of support that really is showing to matter across multiple attempts at going below, but not being able to break below the support. And when we finally do break below this level of support, what is the reaction, right? It bounces back, ends up going above it just for a minute, but then failing at it before heading lower. The reaction to that line, once we did get the break, ended up telling us everything we need to know. And waiting for that confirmation and letting it prove itself that line is valuable to the downside or to the upside, to the direction that we want to take a trade in, and waiting for that confirmation allows us to feel a whole lot more confident and convicted that what we thought and the context and the volume that we put into the trade plan is going to play out. So now let's look at how these rules actually work in a real trade. I'll walk you through the process step by step, and we'll show a few examples on how these rules are used in real time, how you create your plans from them, what it looks like on some more charts. So let's take a look at BNAI, which was a multi-day breakout from last week that I traded, that you could have used the rules that we've talked about so far in this video to help guide you along the way and help you understand, read that price action just a little bit better. We can identify our multi-day breakout level here. That's the setup, right? That's what we're looking for. We want to add context as much as possible, whether it's adding the volume we talked about, liquidity, the overall move and behavior of the stock, whether it's the catalyst or the sector that it's in, as much context as we possibly can to help build our hypothesis and our thesis and help create a trade plan that's easy to follow and allows us to follow it consistently over a long period of time. But this stock makes a move from the 10s to the high 60s, topping out around $67, $68, has at least one day where it does not break that high. That is our multi-day breakout level. And so again, how you want to structure your trade plans for whatever pattern that we teach over at Clover is completely up to you. But when we're watching and trying to understand what price action matters in the moment, we're looking for very simple things, right? The context, what is the pattern? What do we expect to happen? Is there volume there? Is the stock doing enough in terms of volume and liquidity to have the potential to do what we think it can do? And then do we get that confirmation? What is the reaction to the price level that we're watching, and does it confirm our original thesis, and do we have a trade on our hands? In this case, the stock does, in a straight up spike, break through that resistance level right out of the gate in the morning. It goes on to make a move another $10 a share higher, but then what does it do, right? Stocks don't go straight up and they don't go straight down. It pulls back. And what is the reaction to that pullback around the key level? Sure, it breaks it by a little bit, as stocks will do. These lines are not set in stone. That's why I don't generally risk off of, key levels of support and resistance. I want to see it over under hold at least one or two times and then use the actual level that holds for a risk level. But after our breakout, after our move, does the stock confirm? What is the reaction to the break of that resistance? It comes back down, it holds it, it sets a series of higher lows, showing that buyers are still there and that the price, it does not want to at this current moment to go below it. And then we have another move, we break high today and we run about $20 a share past that breakout level. Another example that we can talk about is another breakout that happened last week. And if we pull up the intradaily chart here, we can see a really nice multi-day breakout setup. Stock goes on a big move, tops out in this 570 area, sets a series of lower highs and a series of higher lows. We're not necessarily talking about the patterns and the prerequisites for the patterns right now, but when we're talking about this main really important level on the daily chart, how does the stock price react to it, right? What is the context? The context is we're looking at a multi-day breakout. It's getting tighter and tighter as it approaches this really important level. And in this moment right here, we actually break above it. We go past it, from this 565 area up towards 6. And then what do we do when we pull back? Right here, you can see we pull back, we hold above this line. So the reaction to the break above that resistance is a positive one if our plan is to buy this line and look for the stock to go higher. The reaction is we break it, we pull back, we use that area of resistance as support, and then we go and we have another leg. So again, it's context being important. Do we have a setup on our hands when it comes to the daily chart and the intraday? Volume, is this play, something we can expect to take place based on the context that we have, because the volume is there, because there are eyes there? And then what is that reaction? What is the reaction to the big level? And it doesn't always have to be the most important resistance or the most important support. There are intermediate areas. I know you guys can see it on Twitter. People have lines all over their chart. What is the reaction to those important lines? And does that confirm the thesis that we had in the first place? If you want to practice all the rules and the systems that we implemented today to have you understanding how to read and trade price action, something you can do in terms of backtesting, which I do on a regular basis, on a week-to-week, month-to-month basis, is go through every single pattern that worked. When you're in the Clover room, make a list of all the patterns that played out that Huddy or Kyle or I traded that were breakouts, first red days, gap and craps, first screen days, reversals, right? And go through, now that you know how they played out, and identify what was the context, what was the pattern, did the stock have volume, was that a reason on why or why not the thesis played out, and what was the reaction to the important levels, whether it be the breakout level, high a day and reversal, the green red level for a first red day, and backtest and study for yourself how these rules can be implemented to have you trading like a pro. And if you are ready to start trading like a pro, and you want to learn from me directly and talk about these rules on a daily basis, you can come join me and other experienced traders with over $10 million in verified profits and apply to join our mentorship. You can click the first link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen. Just remember that spots are limited. We want to work with the most serious traders out there who want to level up their trading. So if you're ready to stop guessing and start trading with confidence, you can apply now and get 2026 started on the right foot.